old tires, get my new tires put on my car. So anyway, I am so grateful. There's so many blessings, so many amazing things that are taking place in my life. I mean, I am just in awe of all the beautiful, wonderful things that have come to my life. People, I mean, I haven't even talked about people that have come into my life, because I don't want to give Mark any more ammunition to throw at me and stuff like that, because, you know, he just made a video, of course, gaslighting the shit out of me, right? Just as a good malignant narcissist does, right? He has opened up the can of whoop booty on Lynna, you know, and, you know, goes with the whole, those men, you know, us women, we're so different. If you have a problem, if you have any questions, ask Violet. It's like the same scenario. But why don't we ask the probably thousands of people that you have offended over a period of like the last maybe 7 or 8 years? Let's ask those people what they think about you, Mark. Let's ask those people how gaslit they felt about you, what you have to say, and how you're always right and you're never wrong. Always right, never wrong. And, you know, let's ask those people. I mean, Violet, I don't know, for whatever reason, she kissed the ground that you walked on, and you took her out just like you took out the rest of us, you know, people in your life. You know, we're not good enough for you, apparently, or pretty enough, or handsome enough, or good enough, or honest enough, or decent enough for a person who, you know, has a pretty sordid past, you know, comes from a very questionable background, right? Criminal behavior at times. You know, I'm not that person. I'm just, you know, I'm just simple me. I transitioned at 43. I had a respectable job. I worked in Christian television. I don't have a history of being a loud, obnoxious narcissist. That's just not something that you're going to see on my wall. You're not going to hear that, you know, from my friends. You know, if you have a question, why don't you ask my friend Landon? Landon has known me or knew me for years, like when I was in my 20s, and he can attest to you the kind of person that I am and the kind of person I've always been. And that has always been more so on the shy end of things, not really like, you know, not really a talker, not really outgoing or anything like that with regards to, you know, because I was dealing with my own dysphoria, my own issues for so long that, you know, I kind of kept to myself. I was a loner in that aspect and scared people, actually, you know. It's just in the recent years when I started doing Lynna's life that I started opening up, and, you know, through gender transition, it's allowed me to become a more wholesome person that's able to express my feelings and emotions and talk about my life in ways that I would never have prior to transitioning. It's just given me the confidence and the ability to just express myself in a way that I know is my best, you know. And I know you might ridicule me, talk about my hands, you know, talk about my forehead, whatever. Honestly, I never get clocked about a forehead or anything like that, so I don't really understand where you're going with that one. I mean, I don't have a Neanderthal brow, thank God, you know. That's been a dysphoric thing for me in the past, but, you know, let's move past the gender. Let's just go into quality of person. This person, Mark Angelo Cummings, who now goes by the name Maritza, they literally a history of being a very abrasive, a very temperamental, abusive, angry. Let's ask Violet. I watched a video that Mark did back in 2011 when he was on this journey with his wife and his swinger partner, and they were running around the country and doing things, I don't know what, in the back of their truck, and living life, just loosely and freely as a modern hippie bandwagon ride or something. And Mark was in a video where he took a video camera and he said, "Here, shoot this woman," like totally male chauvinist, totally like disrespectful of his wife, right, at the time. And she just like hesitatingly just, okay, here, did you want me to shoot you here? Yeah, no, I want you to go over here. It's like, I was like, what in the world? That's the person that I'm supposed to like respect? A person that has no respect for other people? I mean, in the sense of like, the word gaslighting is like something that Mark does for sport. He literally told me one time, "Lynna, when people like get under my skin and they annoy me and they do things to me, I go to their Facebook page and I look up what it is that I can get them with. Like, I dig deeply. I do psychological analyzation of them, and I get them where it hurts. Like, maybe say somebody's missing their father in their life, or dealing with abuse issues, or other things, depression was a big one. He's like, aha, that person's dealing with depression. I'll just nail him to the wall with that one. That's the kind of person Mark Angelo Cummings is. And Maritza is that to an extreme, right? Because in Maritza's world, Maritza doesn't think that she's an abrasive person. She thinks that she's like this dainty little flower that, everybody, when you look at my birth certificate, it says woman, it says female, and you'll never be what I am, and I don't need to have your validation. It's like, I didn't ask for validation. I didn't really contemplate wondering, gee, does my liar ex-husband, spouse, person that said I was the apple of his eye, person that he would ride or die with, and like his true love, would a person like that treat their ex the way that they do? I mean, if they literally felt that kind of love, or had that kind of love for their ex, right? I mean, would that be, is that the kind of love that, if you're like the apple of someone's eye, that they're literally sabotaging your transition at every step, and they're literally making you like experience life in a difficult manner, more difficult financially than it needed to be, because again, Mark doesn't have like a profitable channel. He has a hobby, and now he thinks he's a reporter, like some investigative journalist, a la Geraldo and Al Capone's vaults or something. I don't know what he's thinking, and he thinks that his hair is going to grow back when he's taken 17 years or more of hormones, of the very, very destructive androgen producing hormones. He thinks that he's just going to go magically back to long-haired Maritza from the past. It's like, it's really, I mean, you need to be realistic. And yes, I do believe God does miracles. You know, I believe God could do anything, right? He could, you know, put a leper's hand, heal it. You know, he could raise the dead. He could do a lot of things. I mean, God's capable, right? No one's saying that. But the way Mark presents it is like, he knows it's matter of fact that it's going to happen, and that, you know, his voice is changing every time he goes through detransition. He always harps on the fact, either going in or coming out, about his voice. It's like when he's going in to transition, it's like, oh yeah, I can feel it. It's just getting deeper now. It's getting deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like, it's never ending. It's like, so on his way out, he's always like, oh yeah, I know, my voice is cracking, and now I'm gonna go back to being a female because my vocal cords are gonna shorten or something. It's like, no, they're not gonna shorten. That's not what happens. Unless, of course, some massive miracle takes place. But I don't know in your case what kind of a miracle can take place when you're obviously a very bitter, very narcissistic, very destructive, very hurtful and demeaning person. I mean, you know, God forgives those who forgive others, you know, and it's like you're walking around life claiming to be a Christian and acting like the devil. I mean, honestly, it's what you're doing. It's like us women, we know that those men, and they are so, like, they act like babies, and they're so, like, not, you know, it's like you could dress it up, you could paint it up, you could wig it up, you could do whatever you want, but a man's always gonna be a man. And I say, how could that be when you have a person like Mark, when you have a person like Maritza out there who literally defies all, like, human logic and reasoning? Because this is obviously a person with very strong masculine essence to him. And I know, you know, you're going to talk about being a butch lesbian and being strong-willed, and, you know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about manly traits of manhood, traits that men admire in you and saw in you. I didn't get, you know, called out by Jay on that podcast that we did with him for being a man. You did. You're the man in this whole scenario. Although, you know, biologically, obviously not, right? And I'm sorry about the noise. I've got like this really rough road, and it's just, if it gets too annoying, I'll try to do something in editing to suppress it. But I just wanted to, you know, be honest. I mean, Mark, be honest. You're an abrasive, angered, male-dominated individual. I mean, there is just no way around that fact. You can't hide it. I mean, look at what you're wearing right now. You're like in a white beater tank top, and you've got your beanie or your head bandana thing. You look like you're out to get into a fight with somebody. And it's like, I mean, it's like you want to present as a woman, yet you enjoy being masculine. And I know you're going to say, oh yeah, you trans women, or you men, you actually think that, you know, women have to be dressed in dresses and have their makeup all perfect and everything, and have to look a certain part and stuff. And I was talking to my friend, and she's like, Lynna, you know the things that Mark gave you a hard time about? You know, those things that typically women kind of, you know, obsess over? That's just you being you. I mean, that's what feminine people do. That's what women do for the most part, right? And this isn't just about being a man or a woman, whatever, you want to see me as, or whatever your friends want to see me as, or whatever, you want to paint me as being and stuff. I don't have a problem with that. You can go on and say that I'm a man and do whatever you want to do. I don't care, really. I'm not looking for your validation. I'm not going to be emotionally manipulated by, let's just get at the thing that really sticks it to trans women. Let's talk about their big feet, their big hands. Oh, and by the way, just to let you know, there are trans women that have smaller features. Like your friend, Jay, right? The one that you don't like that does videos about you. She has a smaller head. She has smaller hands. She is more petite in the sense, right? There are others, right, in Thailand. There's other MTFs in other parts of the world, those are smaller, I mean, so general public sees is a man. And, you know, although I'm not trying to deceive anybody, I'm just living my best life. And, you know, quite frankly, it's none of their business what I am, right? I'm just a good person. I'm just a decent human being who loves life and loves people and has found freedom of expression and freedom of just being by being who I am. That's it. You know, I mean, this is the best me that I can present to the world, as I've stated several times in the past. But your hang-ups, the things that you have to like, you have to say, and the things that you have to do. I mean, I don't ridicule you on your appearance. I don't go there because I'm not in 5th grade. I'm not in 3rd grade. I'm not playing go buy some toys and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not really into that stuff. Yeah, but it'll spice up our love life. And, you know, I mean, we're married now. We can do whatever we want. And I'm like, I'm pretty vanilla. I'm sorry. I'm not really interested in all the sexcapades that you might have been a part of. The menage a trois and stuff, like I alluded to, where he goes on the spiritual journey with his wife, who didn't mind if he had a partner, if they shared experiences, and had a friend who traveled with them, and they were like doing things on the road. I mean, it's like, I'm not that person, you know? I'm like, not that person. Yet this person, Mark Angelo Cummings, or Maritza Cummings now, they think that they can just get away with recreating themselves, like as if they're, you know, they're like, oh, I do have a past, you know, but I'm washed by the blood of Jesus and everything. And you are, you know, if you've repented of being, you know, in menage a trois, and if you repented of being such a terrible, terrible person to every person that has ever been a part of your life, including your own sister, you know, who you're telling her she's going to hell for being a lesbian. It's like, you know, you're dividing people, making people feel bad about themselves, destroying lives, young trans lives that are in jeopardy because of the things that you say. I mean, it's like you're like lighting up a path of destruction, and it doesn't matter whether you were, you know, Mark Angelo Cummings, the enlightened one, the one that said no one is coming, who wrote songs that, you know, totally took a big slug at Christianity in general, who said, I don't believe in God. I mean, you know, I believe in source. I'm not an atheist, but I don't believe in God. I mean, it's like, you have the gall to say these things. So you have the gall to come on camera to like paint a narrative of me being like making you a pawn because I just want to be validated, so I go looking for a trans man. That is such a can of crap, if I've ever heard it, because I wasn't the one looking for you. You were the one who came looking for me. You're the one who came and, you know, complimented me and said nice things to me. And it's like, if you came to be a predator, which I was told by a friend who is trans, that said, you know what, Mark is a predator. He really does like kind of like damage people. I mean, there was this African American woman that Mark wooed down to Silver City to be with him, and he didn't like how she smelled, right? So he says, hey Ted, a guy that lives in Silver City, hey Ted, can you get this person off of my hands because it's just not working out? And this person, this woman who, you know, was told certain things by Mark, and who packed up and left and moved down to Silver City to be with him, she literally had to suffer for 6 months to gather enough money to get herself back to San Francisco, where she had gone, you know, to seek out Mark. She had come from San Francisco. So Mark has a track record. Kid you not. Don't let this fake like sweetness that all of a sudden has enveloped Maritza, you know, that now they're like this, oh my gosh, I'm so feminine. And, you know, people have been telling me that my changes, it's like I'm doing laser, and it's an IPL laser. It's a laser that does not take care of coarse, mannish hair. It's made for fine women's hair. No, that laser is doing nothing for you. It is not burned by that laser. That laser is not a real laser. IPL lasers, do some research, are not recommended for, to be used, especially a person with coarse man hair. I mean, Mark has hair that the skin is like, it's just riddled with thick, bristly hair and large pores. So, and then he wakes up in the morning and does this morning video and says, "Oh, hi everybody, this is Maritza, and I just woke up." Are you kidding me? Mark has to go do like the third degree on his face to get it to look even remotely feminine, because he wakes up with a 5 o'clock shadow at 2 a.m. It's like he did lots of tea. It's not, it's not some, like hidden secret that tea, especially with Mark, who comes from, like, obviously testosterone flows freely in his family. And, it's like he comes across and dares to say that he's just woken up. He's just rolled out of bed like any other woman would, without any hair at all to deal with. Hi, but I didn't even know the camera was on. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's like, please, seriously, take a sense of reality and really take a good look at what you're doing, because you're lying all the way. It's like there's not one hint of truth to what you're saying. I was not making you a pawn. I was not looking for an FTM. Honestly, I was intrigued because I thought maybe that an FTM would be like a person who I could relate to and who could understand me, and I wouldn't need to walk through these waters of illegitimization as you have made me go through for how many years now. I mean, if you truly didn't see me as a woman, then why the hell did you marry me? Why in the world would you subject my world to yours when all you wanted to do was sabotage me? And you didn't love me, because if you loved me, like I said before, I wasn't interested in making videos like these. I wasn't interested in doing anything of the sort. None of it, really. And I didn't for a long time. I didn't do it. But Mark leaves me no choice. Mark leaves me incapable of being able to speak my truth when he's always twisting it, always changing it. Like, oh no, I never saw you as a woman, yet I gave you cards and flowers and told you how beautiful you were, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh yeah, I told you because that's what you wanted to hear. And it's like, okay, that's great, but it all points to the fact that you're a liar. It all points to the fact that you are an abusive person. To take someone's life, a person like me, who doesn't have a history of being like some outlandishly loud, obnoxious, rude, take no prisoners, male who just has to dominate everyone and everything. That's not me. That's you, Mark. That's you. You're the one with all those characteristics. You're the one, whether you want to call yourself a woman or not, you're the most manly of men. And most men would tell you that. Most men would be fooled by your masculine essence, because it is an essence, Mark. It is. It's an essence that you have, and that you were once proud of having. You once were very proud of being very manly and stuff. You're like, oh yeah, I have this trail that runs through my midline here, and that just I'm an intersex, and I'm all this, and I'm a bona fide male. It's like, it's this constant rewriting of your narrative. It's like, which part of your narrative is going to stick this time, Mark? Which part of it? Because the part of it where you're telling other people that I'm a pawn, that you're a pawn in my hands, that one's just not going to stick when you're the one who controlled me. I mean, I don't want to go into all the details of what you did or didn't do. I mean, it is like I documented it in another video how many bazillion times already. It's like ad nauseum. And honestly, the only reason that I write back, or not write, but the only reason that I do these videos is to clear my name, is to set the record straight, because I'm not twisting anything. I'm speaking the truth when I say that you were an abusive a-hole to me, when I say that you were a controlling monster in my life, that you made me do things that I never wanted to do. Who forces someone, again, back to 2018, who forces someone on their anniversary of a honeymoon to watch porn with them? Oh, babe, it's okay. I mean, it's good. I mean, it helps us as a couple. And I'm like, how can watching two people have sex with each other, how can that be something that I would find remotely interesting? I mean, I'm not. Yet my husband, or lesbian, or I guess they wanted to have sex with me as a man, or whatever they want to call themselves, that person literally was obsessed with me watching porn with them. I mean, think about it. And I'm not making it up, people. It's not some, it's not some far-fetched thing, I mean, it is what it is, I was forced to get up at 3 a.m. every morning when I got back from Minnesota to prepare this man his breakfast. Not as a man, but as his dutiful wife. And I did it lovingly, and I did it without regard. I mean, he made me go to bed at 6 p.m. because he had to get up early. He's like, I don't want anybody up at the time of the hour that I'm falling asleep, because I can't sleep if you're walking around the house. And I'm like, so do you expect me to get up and make you breakfast then too? He's like, of course, you need to get up. 3 a.m. I'm going to work at 4, so you need to make my breakfast and prepare my lunch and, get me going for the day. And I'm like, are you serious? I mean, I was married, okay? In a million years, I would never have even contemplated to make my then wife get up if I had to leave at 2 a.m. for a shoot and I was going out of town. I wouldn't make her do that. That wasn't cool. I mean, that's just not good human behavior. That's just not good, respectful human dignity behavior. That's just being an awful person and a selfish ignoramus that wants to have their way and wants to control other people and make them do things for them, but they really should be thoughtful and not make them do that. But that's Mark, everybody. That's Mark. Mark is a controlling behemoth of a personality. You met him on YouTube. You see him here rewriting history as if all of the things that he said and all the things that he presents and represents can just be erased in one little 3-month period of life where he feels that he's going back to being a female and that he's going to get all his hair back. He's going to get, he's going to have his wonderful self back to the testosterone days. It's no, it's not like that. That's not how it happens. That's not what is taking place here. This is an overt malignant narcissist, people. This is what this is. This isn't anything other than a person being bad. You know, and it doesn't matter if you're bad as a man or if you're bad as a woman. I mean, being bad isn't a gender thing. Being bad is a person thing. And, you know, the way that you're behaving, the way that you're treating me, the way that you're talking about me, the way that you're going on and on and on about me and lying about me and my character, calling me this and that and the other, and saying that I used you as a pawn. No, Mark Angelo Cummings, you don't get to do that. You don't get to rewrite your own narrative. You don't get to create your own scenarios. You, my friend, you, my ex-husband, twice, you don't get to do that. That's not right. And it doesn't matter if you were a husband or a wife or whatever you wanted to see yourself as. It's just not good human behavior to be so toxic, so destructive, such a liar. You know, it's like there's liars, and then there's people like you who like recreate everything so that it suits your narrative, so that your Christian audience can just, oh yes, sister, those men, they need to be stopped because they're so dangerous, they're so destructive to their families, and they cause so much damage. And those men are just like, I don't know who they think they're fooling, because if they step out the door, they're just going to be read as men, because they are men, you know. And yes, Sister Maritza, that's just the truth, and I'm just grateful to God that you have the courage to speak up and to not be the victim anymore. I mean, it's time that, you know, us women speak up against those men. It's like, Mark, please, just stop it already. Just stop. You're a liar. You were a dominant man in this relationship. I don't care what you want to see yourself as now, but I'm not going to give you the right to call yourself a woman in my eyes, because, and I don't care if you don't care. I really don't. I don't care if you don't care, because what you did to me, regardless of gender, was wrong. What you're doing now, and I've asked you several times throughout our breakups, 2018, you got like belligerent, started saying really mean things, even called me an it at one point, made me like, you know, just feel like yay big, you know, feel like a real like loser, because that's what you do. You're like, Lynna, if you lose me, you lost everything, because, you know, that's what you do. You just turn away people, and then you're just gonna be by yourself, and, you know, hopefully you don't die. It's like, damn you, Mark Angelo Cummings, damn you, Maritza Cummings, whatever entity's living inside of that body, damn you. You are an absolute disgrace and a monstrous person. Whether you're a man or a woman, you T-O-X-I-C. T-O-X-I-C. There is nothing redeemable about you and your attitude. It's just disparaging of other people, disgusting, dirty, denigrating, diabolical, evil. And I honestly, I don't even know how many more of these videos I can make to say the same thing, that you're a liar. You're a liar, Mark Angelo Cummings, and the truth will be known. And when the truth is exposed, and you're exposed for being the charlatan and liar that you are, everyone will see your true colors. I see right through your little fake demeanor. And I was the pawn in your relationship. I was the one that was actively being sabotaged. I was the one that was lied about. I'm the one that is being told, you're telling this narrative. And, if I would have felt that love from you and feeling that I was the only one, that I was the true love and everything, I would have felt it. But I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that at all. I felt awful. I felt awful. And it's now that I'm healing. It's now that I'm able to step away from the toxic relationship that embodied our entire journey together. You were thinking that I was your twin soul. Well, I don't come from hell, so I can't be your twin soul, or Angela Cummings, or Maritza, whatever you want to call yourself. I don't. I see you as a demon. I don't see you as even a human at this point, because the lies, the way you're manipulating the truth is just absolutely jaw-droppingly inconceivable that you would behave in such a flagrant, wanton, destructive, no holds barred, F you attitude that you have. And I don't even know what else to say. I mean, you say, so what is it with my ex? Why are they constantly making videos about? Well, because you're lying, Mark Angelo Cummings. You're lying. Lies. You call me a liar just because I bought Amazon and told you, and wouldn't tell you things about what I was getting. That was me surviving you and your destruction. And no, it's not right to be dishonest about purchases among a couple and stuff like that. But when you live with a miser who micromanages your every cent and makes, decisions for you financially that disallow you from even purchasing $1 sunglasses at Dollar Tree, I rest my case, So I'm gonna title this video Liar, because that's what you are. You're a malignant narcissist and a unrepentant liar. And that's